Hey guys, welcome to Get It Done with Gabby. Today we are back in my kitchen because my brother is officially moving out. So we don't have an exact date yet, it's sometime next month, but we are going to be starting the process of getting all of his stuff out of the cabinets so we can get it packed and organized and separate all of my stuff, all his stuff, all that kind of thing. So today's big goal is to just empty out the kitchen of all of my brother's stuff, which is sad. I'm a little excited for the extra space, but also we're very sad that Uncle Ben is going to be moving, huh? That is the plan today. If you are new to my channel, we do lots of deep cleaning, organizing, decluttering, all that kind of jazz here. So if you enjoy that kind of content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. And let's get into today's video. Alrighty, so I decided to do the top cabinets first. We're doing a left to right sort of vibe today. Don't know why, just decided this was where I was going to start. So this is our, cup cabinet, well, extra cup cabinet. So it has all of our giant movie cups and all of our like fancy specialty, alcohol cups, shot glasses, all that sort of random stuff up here. So I'm just going through that. Ben and I have been collecting these Harkins movie theater cups for years and years. So I was just sorting through them all and like making sure we each had like a full set of all the years. And then I just gave all of the extras to him because he uses them all the time for water. I pretty much don't use them ever, but I did want to keep my collection going. I realized as we went through and looked at all of them, I am missing a 2015 Harkins cup. That's the only one I'm missing because I apparently started collecting them in 2014. But anyway, moving on to the next section. This is obviously our Tupperware area. So pretty much same plan. Just go through absolutely everything, give Ben all of his stuff, and honestly, at this point, I decided to start giving him things that I just didn't want anymore. So at the end of this, I had him go through like the massive pile I made him, and I'm like, if you see anything in here that's not yours, just keep it if you want it, or put it in a separate pile for donation, because if I put it over here, that means I don't want it anymore. So, I have a question for you guys, so let me know what you're thinking. I am trying to be proactive and responsible about my filming and video schedule because thus far I've been making videos on and off for like, probably like 5 or 6 years or something on YouTube, and I've never really made myself a schedule or a plan. But my goal is to take this a lot more seriously and honestly get my life together a little more like schedule-wise so I don't feel like I'm living in a constant state of chaos. So my question to you guys is, what are some video idea content things you guys would like to see from me? So just let me know if there's something particular you want me to film a video about. Just leave me a comment and I will put it in the schedule of things to film. Like, I'm truly down for whatever you guys want to see. One that I do have planned already is some sort of a Q&A, possibly like a do laundry with me or fold laundry situation Q&A. So I need cues from you guys. So if you have any questions that you've been wanting to ask me, anything you want me to talk about, just leave me a comment. I'll start screenshotting them so I have a little collection of questions to answer. And yeah, we'll just have a little sit down, chit chat. Maybe I'll make it a live. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I'll probably do a community post about it too. But yeah, anything you guys want to see, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to take a bit of a break. We just cleared out all of the top cabinets. Oh, I forgot that stuff on the top. We have stuff like sitting on the very, very top of the cabinets, like above them, and that's all my brother's stuff. Okay, whatever. We cleared out the top section of cabinets, and next we need to move on to the bottom cabinets, but the table is already completely full of his stuff, so I need to figure out a new plan, because I was going to put everything on the table and then pack it, but I'm already out of room and I haven't done any of the lower cabinets yet, which obviously has most of the big stuff, so I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. So my mic wasn't plugged in all the way, so while I thought I was speaking to you guys, absolutely nothing was being recorded. It was plugged in enough to like not have the camera recording sound, but not plugged in enough for the mic to record sound. So I got absolutely nothing. I don't know what I'm really talking about. I guess what I'm trying to say is I stacked a bunch of stuff and made more space on the table so I could bring the rest of everything over from the lower cabinets. So that's what we're doing today. We're just going through the lower cabinets and adding more stuff to the table. So when I climbed up top here to grab my brother's stuff off the top of the cabinets, um, I was pretty horrified by how disgusting it was up here. Not only was it dust, but it was like cooking grease. Like almost 2 years worth of us like cooking and steaming, all floating up to the top, settling down on here, dust falling on it, getting stuck. Like it was grimy and sticky. It was so disgusting. And like I am fully aware that no one would ever know that it was up here. But once I realized it was up here, I had to deal with it. And what surprises me most is that I was just up here like a month or two ago to put up the Christmas lights that I set up here. But I obviously was not paying that close of attention, and I must have been on a very specific mission when I put those lights up here. And then again, when I took them down, I still didn't even realize how gross it was. Like, I saw the dust, but I guess I didn't touch it to realize that it was also greasy. I don't know. It was just really disgusting, and I had to deal with it. Even though I know no one would know one way or the other, I knew, and it had to be dealt with. Okay, so that is all the time I have to devote to this project for the day. The table is completely full. And I have some things on these chairs. So it is definitely time to find some boxes and start packaging all this up, but I think that's the majority of my brother's stuff. There are a couple other kitchen things in another room, but for the most part, I think this is everything. Okay, so it is many days later. I actually didn't work on packing up the kitchen stuff for like 3 days because I didn't have any boxes. So I had nothing to put all the kitchen stuff in. But last night I came home from work with Matt with tons and tons of boxes from the shop warehouse. So I went ahead and started packing everything, and I just didn't talk at all last night when I was doing this because there was a lot of background noise going on. So I just wanted to pop in here quick, kind of explain what happened, why there was a bit of a disconnect. But yeah, I just didn't have boxes for a few days, but we're back in it now. So let's get to packing. So literally as soon as I started getting the boxes out, Zabu was like, "Oh, hell yeah, a box?" He has always been my little box boy, loves a good box. I don't know if I really talk about my cats on my channel at all. I don't know if anybody cares. I have two of them, Zabu and Kratos. Zabu is about to be 12 on Valentine's Day. He's going to be 12 years old. And we just had a bit of a scare with him. I took him to the vet last week because he stopped eating, and that is very unusual for him. He's an avid eater. As you can see, he's a chonky boy. So when I got him 12 years ago, I was under the impression that cats could just like graze and you could just leave food out for them and they would eat what they needed. Turns out not all cats are like that, especially of the Maine Coon variety. And my chunky boy is definitely part Maine Coon. And so within the first 2 years of his life, he got big and he kept getting bigger. But then he got fat, and so I spent the last decade of his life trying to help him lose weight, and it has not worked. He's still a big boy, and anyway, so he stopped eating last week. Very, very unusual. So I took him to the vet, and they ran a bunch of tests on him, and $400 later, we figured out that he has a problem with his pancreas. He has pancreatitis. We don't know how bad it is. The only test that we could run at this vet clinic was just like whether there was or was not an issue with his pancreas. There is So he has some medications and he has prescription food now. The first, I don't know, the first 3 or 4 days after I brought him home and was trying to get him to eat, like, he would do really good in the morning and then kind of taper off in the evenings. And after a few days, he finally just like sparked right back up and he's eating normally again. He's very happy, very lively. He has another checkup at the vet in a few days. So we'll probably end up doing the more intense test just to see like what level we're dealing with here and like what steps we need to be taking to get this handled. But yeah, the amount of guilt that I feel about this is a little intense. Obviously, as a pet owner, you want to do everything you can to keep your pet healthy. And, you know, while I didn't realize that I was making my cat fat, um, I'm the one responsible for him having health issues because I couldn't get his weight issue figured out. And so just like, kind of hard to deal with. Sorry, had to take a break there for a second. Got a little emotionally overwhelmed, more than I thought when I started talking about the subject. Obviously, I'm not ready to talk about this yet, so we're just going to move on back to happier topics and get back to packing these boxes up. So, one thing I wanted to make sure to mention uh, was that while I am packing up all my brother's stuff, it was not his expectation that I pack his belongings for him. I just wanted to have something to film for you guys and show you this process. So, he's let me do this on my own, but not because that was what he expected. And that's also why I'm writing down everything that's in each of these boxes since he's not here to watch me do this. This way he knows exactly what's in each box so that when they get to their new house, it's really easy to unpack and locate everything that they're after, because I know moving can be so absolutely chaotic, and it's easy to misplace things. So at least this way, if he's looking for something really specific right when they get in there, he can just look quickly at the top of the box and find each and everything that he's looking for. So, my number one tip for packing up kitchen stuff is use small boxes. Pretty much all kitchen stuff is really heavy and fairly breakable. And so, when you load up a big, huge box, it typically doesn't work out because it ends up being too heavy and everything's all stuck in there under a lot of pressure. I would just say go ahead and get a bunch of tiny boxes. As you'll see, this is the only big box I used, and it was only out of necessity because there were some really big items that wouldn't fit in any of the smaller ones, and I ran out of small boxes. I should have brought home a few more. But at the end of the day, I think this will work out just fine because I pretty much only put light stuff in this huge box and loaded it with just like a ton of paper and air puff so it was as light as possible. But yeah, that is my number one tip. Just use a bunch of small boxes. It will save you a bunch of back aches from trying to lift huge, heavy kitchen boxes. Alrighty guys, that is all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed watching me load up all of my brother's kitchen stuff. It's so weird being down to like a single family set of kitchen stuff because we've been double packed for like almost 2 years now. So it's really exciting to have a lot more cabinet space. So we're definitely gonna have to do like a kitchen organization situation at some point. Just ran out of time for this week, but I got everything packed up. I did not close any of the boxes with tape just because I feel like if my brother needs to get in there, it's way easier if I just left everything open. And if we find more of his kitchen stuff, the boxes are still open so we can add things. It'll just be easier this way until we have like an exact date when he's leaving. Then I'll feel like I'll like officially close up the boxes. But for now, I just left them open in case we need to change anything. So if you're new to the channel and enjoy this type of content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. And yeah, this is the first of many episodes of this series of transitioning, of my brother moving out, packing all his stuff up, and Matt and I have been talking, and we're probably going to rearrange most of the house. So there are going to be lots of changes and updates to come. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys. Alrighty, that is it from me, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!